Hey everybody, it's Venetia again. This is my second video today, and it's like a part two and a half to the last couple of videos that I've done about the appointments that I've went to recently. I did do a lot of appointments this week, and I did a quick update for it, so you can check in the link, or you can check on my channel to get the link to the other videos. So I said in my last video that I was going to do a video about the nutrition class that I took, and I wanted to do this video because she gave me so much good information, and a lot of things became much clearer to me after doing this nutrition class with her. And I just thought that anybody who's in the process of going towards a bariatric surgery I think that it would be helpful to see this video. So I don't know how long it's going to be. I'm going to try to compact it as much as I can. And always, if you have questions, you can leave me a comment, or you can email me at fadetofabulous@gmail.com. It's just like my username on YouTube. Okay, so let me just jump right in. It first things first, we learned that we have to make SMART goals. SMART is actually an acronym that stands for specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and timely. And what that means is that anybody could say, like, a poor goal would be like, I want to lose weight. Well, duh, we all want to lose weight. That's why we're on this, this journey. But like, a SMART goal would be like, I want to increase my water intake to 64 ounces a day, which is actually the recommended amount for us in this particular program. Another SMART goal would be, I want to increase my exercise 5 minutes of cardio per day. Something small, so it's specific, it's measurable. You want to increase by 5 minutes. It's attainable. You can do an extra 5 minutes if you work towards it. It's realistic, and it's timely. So, and you're timely. You just, every week I want to have this amount of increase. Every day I want to have this amount of increase. Okay? So those are the SMART goals. Um, so that was that. And like, if you want to share some of your SMART goals with me, that's great. I'm still like writing out a list, and one of mine is definitely the exercise and the water intake, because I'm so poor at, even as hot as it's been outside, I still haven't gotten 64 ounces of water in yet. Got 20 more ounces to go. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. I would like to hear your SMART goals. If you can think of any quickly, or if you want to come back, think about it and come back, please share with me. I'll share more with you of mine. I plan to make 10 SMART goals, and the time frame will stretch out over several weeks or months, but I do plan on making SMART goals to share with you all. Okay. The next thing was, she was really, really adamant about this rule of 30. So the rule of 30 is to take 30 minutes to eat your meals. These are things that you can practice prior to having surgery. And if you listen to the last video, I told you I'm a fast eater. I'm a gulper. I just inhale and devour food like somebody's gonna try to take it from me. So this one is one that I really, really, really have to really, really work on. And I know it's going to be hard, but if I'm, going to be making this lifestyle change, and if I'm going to make this surgery a success, then this is what I have to do. So I think this is going to be the hardest thing for me. The rule of 30. Take 30 minutes to eat your meal. And that's basically because, first of all, you want to taste your food. You want to chew it properly. And she recommends chew 30 bites per, 30 chews per bite, or until you get to a pasty consistency. And of course, like, if you're eating pudding or yogurt or jello or something, that's not, you can't chew that. But things like your meats, your vegetables, your fruits, you really, especially after you have surgery, you really, really want to chew that stuff down, because that skin is going to be harder to digest. Those fibrous vegetables are going to be very, very hard to digest in your new stomach, or in your new pouch, or whatever surgery you're going to have. So you really want to help your body to digest, and actually digestion does start in the mouth. Use those molars, use those canines, and bicuspids and things like that to really grind that food up, and just help your body to digest it a little before it hits the stomach. Um, and also, nothing to eat or drink. I mean, nothing to drink 30 minutes before you eat a meal and 30 minutes after you eat a meal. Okay? And don't skip breakfast. Don't skip any meal. You have to get in the habit of eating every, what is it, 4 to 6 hours, I believe she said. Don't skip your meals, is because it's easy for your body to go into that starvation mode and start to feed off of your muscles and stuff. So you want, and you don't, definitely don't want that malnutrition going on and your hair falling out and you're getting all weak and dizzy and all this stuff. just just take some time to create simple meals and try to stick to it. That's one of my smart goals too, is to create simple meals and stick to them. Simple meals that include carbs, that include protein, and that are well-rounded meals. And I'll get to that in a minute. Well, I'll get to it now then. Um, protein and carb with a protein and a carb with each meal, with breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And I'll get more specific in a second about the protein and carb content. So, and the reason that you want to do that is because including these things will prevent a low blood sugar. It will prevent the signs of hypoglycemia, which are not pleasant. And ideally, you want to have 14 grams of protein for breakfast, and you want to have 21 grams of protein for lunch and dinner, 21 grams each. And you need to listen to your body. Even now, when you're eating, listen to your body and stop when you're satisfied. Don't wait until you're stuffed. Bef- before you stop eating. And you have to kind of start to tune into the difference between a mental hunger or physical hunger. And I'll give you an example. A mental hunger. At my job, somebody's always retiring. It's always somebody's birthday. Somebody's always having a baby shower or a bridal shower. And so when people come around and say, "Here, I have some cake," and you're like, "Oh my God, that cake smells so good." Yes, I'll have a piece. Give me a big piece too. It looks so good. Is that whipped cream topping on there? You know I love chocolate. So, like, that's a mental hunger. You see it, you smell it, but you're not hungry. When you have physical hunger symptoms, you know it. That belly is growling, you're feeling lightheaded and things like that. So when you first start getting to those hunger signs where you feel a little growl in your tummy, then go ahead and eat. Don't wait until you're lightheaded and stuff. But listen and watch for those first signs of hunger, and then you need to feed and nourish your body the correct way. Um, and all the stuff that I'm telling you, I still had to do. I'm working on it. I mean, I'm working on it. It is definitely a process for me. So, I mean, if you don't think that don't think that I've got it down pat. I definitely don't. I definitely don't, but I will. I will have it and before my surgery, in good time before my surgery, and I'll do my very very best to continue that after surgery. I want to get it so that I make it a habit before surgery, like through, and I know like I'm one for comfort food in the fall and winter, and not saying that you can't have it. I mean, I go to hungrygirl.com all the time and find alternatives to some of my favorite foods, like fettuccine alfredo I made last week. It was delicious. Okay, but anyway, um when the physical and mental hunger, you need to learn to distinguish those. As far as drinking, remember, no drinks 30 minutes before, 30 minutes after your food. um, don't gulp. You have to learn how to sip. And of course, aim for 64 ounces of water or sugar-free beverages. And speaking of sugar-free beverages, um, I have a list. Where's my list of sugar-free beverages that she said that we can have. So I'm just going to read a couple of them. I'm not going to read all of them. Of course, any Crystal Light does not have sugar in it. It does have aspartame in it, and I think that most of these have some kind of aspartame or some kind of artificial sweetener in it, like Truvia, Splenda, Stevia, or something like that. What kind of sugar-free beverages you consume is completely up to you. At this point, I don't have a problem with aspartame. Some people have a sensitivity to it, but I mean, you be the judge of your own beverages, of course. So Crystal Light, Mio, the non-energy kind. They have 4C sugar-free Kool-Aid and Hawaiian Punch drink packets. I have some downstairs. I didn't think to bring them up here. Um, Decaf or herbal tea, decaf coffee. The diet green tea from Lipton is okay, but it shouldn't be your primary beverage. And that the same goes for Diet Snapple. I went and bought a case of Diet Snapple from Sam's Club today, and it has caffeine in it. That's why it shouldn't be your primary. It shouldn't be your primary beverage, but it's okay in moderation. Those ocean spray diet juices. Now, I was told by the nutritionist that the juices are very, very sweet, and so and after surgery, you're going to be very, very sensitive to sugar, sugary taste and things. So you might want to cut that with water. Um, and she said, I think she said 4 ounces of water to 4 ounces of juice. Any water with true lemon, lime, or orange packets. And of course, you can always do it with the natural fruit and vegetables. I tried watermelon and mint in my water. It was pretty good, but it wasn't as good as like Crystal Light. It was okay. Powerade Zero, Fruit 2.0, and we should avoid any vitamin waters, those Sobe waters, those vitamin water brand waters. And also we can have clear broth, low sodium, and sugar-free popsicles and sugar-free jello. So those are some of the sugar-free, and those are the popsicles and jello do count as part of your liquid, because they're considered melting at room temperature into a liquid. Okay. Um, and also no straws after surgery, because, and she said no chewing gum either after surgery for a couple of months. But I know definitely no straws because you're taking a lot of air and it could cause some bloating and discomfort. So right now at this point, I'm not having surgery until the end of the year, so I can continue to go to the nutritionist to fill my insurance requirements. But at this point, I'm weaning myself off all carbonated, caffeinated, and sugary drinks. And the only thing that I really have a problem with, and it's kind of like a cause and effect. I'm weaning myself off of the coffee. I go to get coffee almost every morning, and sometimes I put an espresso shot in there because I'm so tired. And since we found out why I'm so tired, because my iron is low, um, you know, I just I don't have the energy to do anything, so I go and get coffee. So I'm gonna wean myself off of that. And as a matter of fact, I have not had coffee in 3 days, and I feel okay. So it's all good in the hood. Um, Food labels. She told us how to read food labels, and of course we watch the sugar. We want to have zero, as low to no, as close to no sugar as possible, especially pre-op. Now, specifically your pre-op diet, please don't listen to me. Listen to your surgeon. I'm just trying to give some guidelines that were given to me, and I'm just trying to, share the information that I was given because I thought it was such great information. So, I mean, you can take whatever you need from it, but I'm just trying to just throw it out there and lay it all out, and you can just, take what applies. But I've done a lot of research on sugar, and as much as I know how sugar is bad for you, oh my God, I have such an addiction. And I remember I was detoxing from sugar one time, and it was horrendous. I mean, I don't know. Like, and I was like, oh my God, if I'm detoxing from sugar this hard, I couldn't imagine being addicted to a drug or something like that. You know what I mean? But I mean, it was horrible, and it lasted about a week. But oh my God, when I got that sugar out of my system, it was some of the happiest days of my life. I mean, I had more energy. I mean, I was more alert. I didn't have that mental fog anymore. So, I mean, I'm gonna have to go through that detox again because I always get French vanilla coffee or caramel coffee or something like that. So, when it's time to detox from that sugar in the next week or so, I probably won't be making videos. I'll probably be running around bitching and biting people's head off. So all my people, I apologize in advance. so, um, also we're gonna watch the carbohydrates content and with the carbs. Mm, did I put that in there right? Yeah, we're gonna talk about carbs in a minute. Yeah, we're gonna talk about carbs in a minute. But in the meantime, we're gonna talk about some protein. Oh, before we get to protein, portion control. portion control. Our nutritionist recommended that you use salad plates instead of the big dinner plates, and the salad plates will still get your recommended portions on it, and it will still make your plate look full because whether you realize it or not, a lot of people are visual eaters. Visual eaters. They see that plate full and they be like, "I'm about to go in." But when you have a small salad plate and you still have your ounces of protein, your ounces of your vegetables or whatever is on your plate, and your carbs, I mean, it looks like a lot. And she also recommended to use the toddler spoons and forks so that you can take smaller bites, which will help you, so that I mean, the whole chewing thing and helping to digest and all that, it'll all work together so that you can digest your food and hopefully avoid that dumping syndrome that people sometimes get. And also, it'll make you eat slower so you can avoid dumping. And I have a food scale. I have a food scale, and I remember when I was in another 12-step program, I used to weigh and measure my food. And believe it or not, the portions are not bad. When somebody said to me, you have to have 4 ounces of meat, I was like, 4 ounces of meat, 6 ounces of vegetables. What the hell is that? Who's going to eat that? But it was enough. It really was enough. So, measuring spoons and measuring cups and a food scale probably will be your good friend. A countertop blender, a Ninja, Hamilton Beach, Cuisinart, or whatever it's called. Anything, whatever works. And of course, your exercise. You have to incorporate exercise. And I had a really brutal talk with my physical therapist today about getting that exercise in. So that's just something I have to do. And it's not easy, but it gotta be done. I am not one for exercise, y'all. I would do it for a while, but at this point, if it means saving my life, then I'll do it. Um, as far as your protein, and like if you see anybody's video post-op, they talk about protein, 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 and of course, so do the nutritionist. So, as a general rule, on average, women need 60 to 80 grams of protein per day, and for men, they need 70 to 100 grams for men. But not all protein is equal. So you could have 4 ounces of pork sausage and 4 ounces of lean turkey. That's still protein and protein, but look which one has the higher calories. The sausage will have the higher calories. So you have to be mindful of things like that too. Um, and 1 ounce of protein, very, very important. 1 ounce of protein equals 7 grams. Okay? So if I have 3 ounces of chicken, that's 21 grams of protein. Okay? And I have a list of good proteins that she gave us. See, she gave us everything. She gave us everything. So, oh, I forgot. So, you can have 2 to 3 ounces of protein for breakfast and 3 to 4 ounces of protein for lunch and dinner. And then you can add 2 ounces of protein for a snack. And that'll get you to your within that range somewhere. So chicken with the skin removed, white meat turkey, any kind of fish. And she recommends for the fish because of the mercury content, you have 6 to 8 6-ounce servings per month. So what, 36 to 48 ounces of, that's plenty for somebody who's post-op per month. Lean ground chicken or turkey, and the package should say lean or extra lean. 90% lean or leaner, lean ground beef. And did you know eggs is a good source of protein, but did you know that she recommended that we can eat up to 7 eggs per week, but if we have egg whites or egg beaters, we can eat as much as we want. And that's because I guess the cholesterol content. And also the protein shakes and bars. And I forgot again, I went and bought Premier Protein today. And I know you hear a lot of people talking about it. And I'm going to do a quick review on it probably in the next couple of days. But I'm going to do a review on that in the Snapple, which is what I bought also today. And I think that one had like, I don't know if it was 21 or 30 grams of protein in it, something like that. But also pork tenderloin, soybeans like tofu and edamame, nuts, veggie burgers. I love Morningstar Farm grillers, the veggie burgers, the original ones. I don't like all the other varieties. But the original ones, I can eat those things for days. I've been eating them since way back when. And then, of course, your cottage cheese, your fat-free or low-fat. And your regular cheese, the block cheese, try to choose reduced fat or fat-free cheeses because it's high in saturated fat. It gives you good protein, but it's high in saturated fat. And also proteins that you can get, but they're like a combination food because they're proteins and carbohydrates, and those are beans, Greek yogurt, lactate, something called kefir. Is that how you pronounce it? Kefir is liquid yogurt with a lot of probiotics. That don't even sound good, but if you tasted it or tried it before, let me know what it's like. And low fat soy milk, and then there's cereals like Kashi, Special K Protein Plus, and Nature's Path. I can vouch for the Special K. I love me some Special K. It's so delicious. Okay, so that's it for the proteins and stuff. And then we have the, oh, 20 minutes, really? Okay. Then we have the spices. I hope you guys are still with me. Take notes. Say hey. The spices. She said to purchase them in small amounts, especially if you get like the loose spices that you can get from a specialty store like Whole Foods or something like that. And you just need a quarter teaspoon of dried spice per pound, or 3/4 of a teaspoon of fresh spices per pound of meat. And you put it in 15 minutes before the cooking time is over. That's what she said. I like flavor. I like spices. I marinate. I inject seasonings and all that other stuff. You do what's pleasing to you. I'll try a couple of different ways. You know, if marinating early in the cooking stage irritates me, then I'll let you know. But I like flavor. That's how I keep on track, because if I'm eating bland food, it's not going to be good to me, and I'm not going to eat it. As far as carbohydrates, that's our main source of readily available energy. You should mostly get your carbohydrates from fruit, low fat or fat free dairy, whole grains, and beans. And then, of course, you have your simple carbs like your syrups and stuff like that, and your complex carbs like your whole wheat bread and things. So, on average, women should get 45 to 60 grams per meal, and men should get 60 to 75 grams per meal. Okay, so let me tell you how she explained it to us. Think of it as shopping money. So women, you have $45 that you have to spend at every meal. $45 in carbs. Okay, so if you have, let's say you have an apple. Let me get my carb list. A tennis ball size apple is 15 carbs. So you got that apple, that's 15 carbs, and you have 30 carbs left, right, for that meal. And then you have, let's say you have a half a cup of corn. A half a cup of corn, but you probably won't be eating post-surgery. Let me pick something else. Oh, a half a cup of cooked oatmeal. A half a cup of cooked oatmeal is 15 carbs. So you have your apple, you have your half a cup of oatmeal cooked. That's 30 carbs for you. And then let's say you have 1 cup of Greek yogurt. 45 carbs and a satisfying meal. You got your dairy, you got your vegetable, you got your protein, all that. And you spent your 45 carbs. The thing is, don't be trying to say I only use 30 carbs at this meal. I'm going to save them 15 for that. This is not rollover, T-Mobile, whatever. You will not get to roll over those carbs to the next meal, because especially for somebody with diabetes, if you say, hey, I have 100 carbs left over for the day and it's dinner time, that's a heavy carb load for somebody who's diabetic, and you don't want to cause any problems, okay? And so your vegetables are a good source of vitamins and minerals and fiber. And speaking of fiber, fiber is a type of carb, but you don't deduct it from your carb count during the day. It is not included in your 45. If you can find something with 3 grams of fiber per serving, that's great. If you can find something with 5 grams or more per serving, that's double great. That's ideal. She recommended those flat out wraps. I haven't tried them myself, but they look like you could do a lot of stuff with them. So, I mean, if you guys let me know about them too. I'm sorry, y'all. It's almost my bedtime. I'm getting tired. And of course, you limit your fats. She called them MUFAs and PUFAs, but that's too close to FUPAs for me. I don't know. Y'all know what a FUPA is? It makes me laugh every time I think about it. So I'm just gonna call them polyunsaturated fats. which is like your omega 3s and omega 6s that you get from your fish and stuff like that. Your monounsaturated fats, it lowers your bad cholesterol, so that's like your olive oil, your canola oil, your peanut oil, safflower sesame oil, avocados, natural peanut butter, olives, almonds, hazelnuts, pecans, sesame seeds. They're calorically dense. They have a lot of calories in them. Shit. So you want to limit them to 30% of your total caloric intake. Okay. Your saturated fats are the ones that are just bad for you. That's your fatty meats. Um, that's ridiculous. No more than 140 of them should come from saturated fats if you're on a 2,000 calorie diet. I don't know what to say about that. So your trans fats comes from your pastries, your donuts, your cakes, your cookies, your biscuits, your crackers, your margarine, your butter, your shortenings, your lard, your movie theater popcorn. All that is trans fats. You want to eliminate those as much as possible. Um, and I think that that's about it. Make sure to develop your SMART goals. And if you have any simple recipes that you want to share, go ahead and share them with me. And if you have any questions, anything, I have tons and tons of resources, and I'd be glad to share with you whatever I did not share here today. I may have information on, but I don't want to do another 30-minute video. So you guys have a good night. Have a happy 4th of July. Enjoy yourselves and your family and all that good stuff. And I'll see you next time. Fadethefabulous@gmail.com. Don't forget about me. Email me, comment, questions, anything. Say hey.